well, John.
Good evening. We're in Studio 4C tonight, and it's October 12th, 2025, Sunday. It's my pleasure and distinct honor to be speaking with Mr. John J. Jeckovich.
We're getting closer to somebody's birthday.
Yeah. How are you doing, Mr.
Very good,
Jeckovich?
thank you.
Did you have a good dinner?
Yeah,
Mr. Jeckovich was born on October 17th, 1925. So we're right around the corner from his 100th birthday. If you wish, text Mr. Jeckovich a birthday greeting at 407-366-0000. 407-366-0000. Mr. Jeckovich was from Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich lives by the motto, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. So you're feeling pretty good today.
what?
You're feeling pretty good today.
Yeah,
Your birthday's right around the corner.
yeah.
Wow. You said you blinked your eyes at 20 and now you're 100.
Yeah,
Where did the 80 years go, Mr. Jeckovich?
who knows?
Did it honestly go by that quick? It went
Yeah,
by that
yeah.
quick? Wow. Unbelievable. Father Time waits for nobody. So listen, boys and girls. Mr. Jeckovich said he blinked his eyes at 20 and now he's 100. So it's a short dance around the sun. Enjoy every single day. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. 80 years went by that fast. Unbelievable. I got some text messages. Says, how many pages is your book?
849.
That's a big, beautiful book. Wow. Wow. I know you didn't own a computer, and I know that you didn't have any access to Google. How did you write this big book?
Yellow pages.
Yellow legal pads, yeah. Yeah. Did it take you a long time?
6 months.
That's not bad. You're working on your second book?
Oh yeah, got notes on, yeah.
Where people ask me all the time in either an email or a text, where can I buy the book and how much?
It's not for sale.
No, the book's not for sale. It wasn't about money. Mr. Jeckovich wrote the book simply to give the younger generation a more simpler and a wholesome life through his examples, with emphasis on wholesome. Some of the things we read about Mr. Jeckovich's book that we could point out. You know, we always give advice as a father and mother, Mr. Jeckovich says, but they tried hard to make things better for their kids, but that we made them worse. So for their grandchildren and great-grandchildren, I like better. So here's some examples. I'd like for them to know about hand-me-down clothes, homemade ice cream, and leftover meatloaf and sandwiches. I hope they learn humility by being humiliated and honesty by being cheated. I hope you learn to make your own bed, mow the lawn, and wash the car. The next one's an important one. Don't fall to this trap and give your kids a new car. I hope no one gives you a brand new car when you turn 16. Very bad thing. Let them work at fast foods or digging ditches or whatever when they're teenagers. To buy a $2,000 or $3,000 car. They'll feel better about the car and they'll feel better about themselves. It'd be good if at least once you see puppies being born and your old dog put to sleep. I hope you get a black eye fighting for something you believe in. I hope you have to walk uphill to school with your friends in a safe town. Tell us about your school walking experiences.
Say what?
Your school walking experiences. You left at Orleans Avenue, and what was the first school you stopped at? You went to high school, right?
Yeah.
You went to Orleans High School? Niagara Falls High School?
Niagara Falls High School on Main Street, yeah.
And how many miles was that?
10 miles.
And then at noon, you walked from high school to where?
Trot.
Trot Vocational High School.
Yeah, about 5 miles.
Why did you go to two high schools?
Well, one was vocational and one was academic.
What did you learn at Trot?
Electrical.
And who was your teacher?
Trestle.
And he was a good teacher?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you say years later he was working at Kimberly-Clark with you?
On summers, making extra money.
Extra money as a teacher. And then on your third leg of the trip, you would walk over from Trot Vocational High School to Fall Street.
SS Kresge's.
SS Kresge, which later became Kmart, which later became bankrupt. And what did you do at SS Kresge?
My mother worked there. She was a cook.
And what did you do?
I was stock boy.
And did your mother have a nice lunch for you?
Oh, yeah.
So that was something to look forward to, all those miles every day.
Yeah.
And did you, like, eat up on the snack bar?
Say again?
Did you eat up on the dining bar?
No, I sat down in the basement.
She said go down and eat in the basement.
Yeah.
Why did she say that?
Well, it doesn't look good for me being upstairs.
Okay, it was no good. So you look forward to her nice cooking every day, right? Yeah, that's a lot of miles every day. Wow. That's a lot of miles every day. If you want a slingshot, I hope your dad teaches you how to make one instead of buying one. Tell us about your slingshots as a boy.
There's a 2x4 with a nail in the bottom and a rubber band from the tires from the car and a switch in it. That's it.
And so the weapon was the rubber band would hit somebody.
Yeah. It was not much philosophy. It was too big.
Yeah. And where did you get the rubber from?
From the cars.
From old inner tubes?
Yeah.
Okay, old inner tubes. Yeah. I hope you learn to dig in the dirt and read books. When you learn to use computers, I hope you also learn to do math in your head. Yeah, that's very important because many people can't even remember their own phone numbers now because everything comes out of the phone. Tell us about as a boy, your book reading experiences with your Book of the Month Club. How did that go?
I love the Book of the Month Club. They send you a book every month for review. If you liked it, you kept it. If you didn't like it, you send it back.
But you had an obstacle that most kids didn't have. What was, you had a race to the mailbox to beat your mother. What was that all about?
She was crying I was spending too much money on books.
So you had to beat her to the mailbox.
Yeah.
And then what did you do with the books once you pulled them out?
Put it underneath the bed.
And then where did you read these
In
books?
the garage or in the basement.
So it was a garage during the summer
And the
and the basement during the winter. What kind of books did you primarily get?
At that time, the war was starting up. War books, philosophy books, English books.
History?
History, yeah.
So a lot of good books.
Yeah.
Books mothers today would pray that their kids would read. Pray that their kids would read, yeah. Wow. Wow. I hope your friends tease you when you have your first crush on a girl and that you learn what ivory soap tastes like when you talk back to your mother. May you skin your knee climbing a mountain and burn your hand on a stove. Oh, here's another very important part. I don't care if you try a beer once, but I hope you don't like it. And if a friend offers you drugs, I hope you realize they're not your friends. I hope you make time to sit on the porch with your grandparents and go fishing with your uncle. May you feel sorrow at a funeral and joy during the holidays. I hope your mother punishes you for breaking your neighbor's window with a baseball and hugs you and kisses you at Christmas when you give her a plaster mold of your hand. Back then, kids would make plaster molds of their hands and give them to their mothers, right?
Yeah.
As gifts. Yeah, I've never seen that, but these are the things I wish for you. Tough times and disappointment, hard work and happiness. To me, it's the only way you appreciate life. That's so true. That's so true. Wow. That's so true. Well, we read your book in the entirety, all 849 pages. You have about 600 YouTube videos now, so if anyone wants to listen to them, it doesn't cost a dime. There's no book to buy, but you can listen to from first chapter to the last. And now we're reading the second time around. We're on chapter 12, and we're on page 299. And this chapter's titled Snow, Bunkers, and Panzers. Do you want me to read a few pages, or do you want to read them?
No, go ahead, read them. Go
You
ahead.
don't want to read them?
Yeah.
Okay. Page 299. This is when Mr. Jeckovich is in Europe and on the front line of the Battle of the Bulge. I wish I had made more of our relationships something more lasting that would give me some form of comfort through these trying times. I closed my eyes and laid back against the straw, seeing Anne once again as she looked during the times. I would see her on her past, longing to hold and kiss her and never let her go. I folded the two letters neatly and put them in my pack, hoping to reread them at some future day. I looked at the two letters from Jean and picked the one with the earlier postmark. I noticed that she had misspelled my name, and that gave me a chuckle. She started out by saying that she was saddened that she could not be there when I left, and that she had heard the news of our leaving just before noon, as was all over town. The good people of Haverford West were distressed to see us go, and they all wished us well. Yeah. Haverford West, you really enjoyed that town. Yeah. She also said she missed me greatly. She felt as if a great part of her life had gone with me, since everything seemed so empty and forlorn after I left. She missed our bicycle trips, picnics, and walks, but most of all, she missed being with me. I took great comfort in that sentiment. I too missed all that and much more. I missed listening to the BBC. What's the BBC?
British Broadcasting.
I missed listening to the BBC, the walks to the benches overlooking the town, and the sound of Spitfires and bombers flying overhead. So when you're in Haverford West, sitting with Jean, you would hear the bombers going overhead to Germany.
Yeah, the Spitfires too.
How does Spitfire sound?
They're eerie. That the blue flames come out of the back of their decks.
Yeah.
They got a real high breeze to them.
What kind of engines?
Real good one.
Rolls Royce?
Rolls Royce, yeah.
Now, when you sat at those benches watching these Spitfires going over to
Bomb Germany.
bomb Germany to hell. Did the Americans go during the day and the British went at night?
Do what?
Did the Americans bomb during the day and the British bombed at night?
Yeah.
Did you notice how many came back? How many of the Spitfires came back?
No, they came back late.
I see. She also stated that her parents were concerned for my safety. The radio and the paper were full of news of counteroffensive by Germans, and a violent battle was raging in the Ardennes. Ardennes is a forest, which is, we get the name of Battle of the Bulge from. That's where Mr. Jeckovich spent most of his fighting days. During that time, the Ardennes forest had the coldest winter of record. Coldest winter record. Today, to this date, 80 years later, Mr. Jeckovich suffers from severe frostbite on his right foot, right?
Yeah,
What's the pain level now?
7.
What's the maximum pain level?
7.
So it's maxed out. And this is a very difficult place to fight. If you can picture the Ardennes forest where the trees are very populated, they're so close to each other, and it seems like there's millions of them. And no one would ever thought that Hitler, crazy man Hitler, was crazy enough to send hundreds of thousands of troops and thousands of tanks through the Ardennes forest, because it was just about impossible to go through it. But he did. And that was the last-ditch effort of Hitler to kill
14 minutes.
many American boys. It was his last-ditch effort. So, let me continue. She also stated that her parents were concerned for my safety. The radio and paper were full of news of counteroffensive by the Germans and its violent battle raging in the Ardennes. Did you have the proper clothing?
Now what?
Did you have the proper winter clothing?
No.
No. Who got the proper winter clothing?
Rear echelon.
The rear echelon received the proper winter clothing, but they never made it to the front line. All the guys like Mr. Jeckovich never got the winter clothing. She wanted to see me again, and just was not the same, she stated dejectedly. There was nothing to look forward to, and would not be much of a Christmas with me not being there. I was touched by her sensitivity and tenderness, and I would have liked nothing better than be with her folks during the holidays. She closed by saying that she would send some pictures in her next posting and write them soon. And God bless you. I folded the letters and stuffed them in my pack, and then laid back trying to make some kind of sense of this all. There was a challenge coming from the gun emplacement. They had encountered someone approaching them and were waiting for the counter password. It was giving, and I peered out of the bunker. I could see 6 or 7 men walking in single file heading out of town. They were a patrol reconnecting the area to our front, probing the enemy to see what they were up to. They would be gone for several hours and probably return before dawn. The thought of patrol duty did not sit well with me, especially since the rumors that we would be pulling some in the near future if we continued to stay here. Lay ped until morning on the gun, so I lay back and I pulled the blanket to cover my body and gather as much warmth as I could. I thought of Jean and Anne and how disingenuous I had been with them, seeing each of them, stand by, neither aware of the other's presence. I infringed on their kindness and shared their hospitality and warmth, and all the while I was deceiving each of them. I was no better than the Germans in their sneak counterattack, and at least they thought they were justified to save their fatherland. What was my justification? The next morning there was a rumor we'd be receiving some new replacements. After Post had brought up some hot cakes and sausages, plenty of hot coffee, we asked him what the latest scuttlebutt was. Evidently he had heard the same rumor. We could see no evidence of it.
10 minutes.
I was summoned to the CP. What CP?
Command post.
I was summoned to the command post in town. And Lieutenant Manicucci, how was Lieutenant Manicucci?
Mail or clerk.
Mail clerk?
He sucks his way in the second lieutenant.
So he basically was a brown noser.
Yeah.
Kissed ass to get those bars,
Yeah.
right? Get those lieutenant bars. The 90-day wonder informed me that we would be getting 6 or 7 men for our squad before the day was over. He also said that I was still acting as a squad leader and was attempting to get my stripes. God bless you. Everyone said they were getting your stripes, but what happened? They either got killed or they drifted off.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I said nothing. I only wanted to know more about my replacements. Naturally, he did not know any more than we did arriving, but stated that whatever we got should be the best we know how. I thought his statements were typical rear echelon BS. He probably never saw any combat and never would. I went back to the bunker to relieve Lape so we could get some breakfast. It was quiet, and the only thing that was unbearable was a never-ending cold and not be able to get out of it for just a short while. I could never understand why we could not be billeted in a warm house after standing our tour of guard in the bunker. Headquarters was built in a chateau with their own dining room and showers. I had not had a shower since leaving Haverford West, nor had anyone else. About mid-afternoon, we received our replacements. We strengthened our squad by 8 men, but I was a little apprehensive after looking them over. We had one ex-paratrooper who just got out of the stockade for going over the hill at Normandy.
Yeah.
Do you remember that guy?
Yeah, he was a metal case.
Metal case. What finally happened to him?
Oh, they discharged him.
He appeared to be half shot, and I came to the conclusion he'd be completely useless. There were several rear echelon people from the signal ordnance and the quartermaster. They had to be pushed into the line on account of our high casualties these past few weeks, and in all probably have not fired a weapon since basic training. They would not be much help either. Also, we obtained several replacements from a provisional company formed in the States. They were draftees, 18 or 19 of age, and these people I put my faith and my confidence. I told them to dig themselves a foxhole, or if they preferred, a 2-man bunker, whichever suited them. Sullivan, the ex-paratrooper, immediately began spurting about how much combat he had seen and how many Germans he had killed.
Yeah.
That was all BS, right?
Yeah.
It had been my experience from the little time I had over here that the people who were bragged the most about their combat experiences were just attempt to bolster their own egos
Yeah.
and meager combat skills. The ones who said nothing or very little were the ones that had seen a great deal of action. The 2 replacements from the provisional company, Lester and Huber, said very little but started almost at once to dig a 2-man bunker. I put them in the same category as the 2 ammo bearers who had saved my life. I knew that they would make out okay. The 3 replacements from the service companies, Greeton, Kosh, and Fuller, did not have the slightest idea what was expected of them. I took them in tow and slowly described to them what's expected. They listened, but it was not registering. And I could tell by the way that they're reacting to what I was saying. I knew that I had going to spend considerable time with them to increase their chances of survival here, right?
Yeah.
Minutes, please.
Five and a half.
The other 2 replacements, Quaritz and Ellis, were ASTP. What's
Army
ASTP?
Stuff Aside Training Program.
Are they good fighters?
They were in college. They pulled them out.
Oh. And Air Corps. Quaritz was a 3-year of college in English and history, was hopeless. I did not even think about him. He was a typical ASTP that was another example how the Army screwed things up. Did Quaritz make it?
Oh,
Did Koritz make it to the war?
Who?
You said Koritz was ASTP. He was one of the replacements.
Yeah.
Did he make it to the war?
No, he got sent back home.
He was a typical ASTP. That was another example how the Army screwed things up. Instead of leaving Koritz where he would be most productive, they stuck him into the infantry. Ellis had gone past pre-flight in Lackland, and in another 6 months would have been a bomber pilot. He was pulled off of training to fill the ground troops, depleting roster. He seemed like a regular guy and did not have any ostentatious demeanor that I had seen so many times at Breckenridge. He would be an unknown entity until now I got to know him better. Sullivan was ranting and raving about something, and the more I saw of him, the more convinced I became that he was ready for Section 8. So what happened to Sullivan?
They discharged him.
So a lot of people had really serious mental disabilities.
Yeah.
Wow. And they could actually shoot their own soldiers.
Yeah.
Couldn't be trusted. As I watched the rest of the men dig the holes, I thought of TO, Table of Organization, and I wanted to put both ammo barrels for a gunner and assistant gunner, but I could not do that. Too late. Downgrade him to assistant gunner or even ammo bearer. I finally left him as gunner, making one of the old ammo bearers assistant, and the rest ammo bearers. I had my doubts about the entire setup, but as my leader, Lieutenant Mancuso, suggested, we'll have to do the best we can with what we got.
Yeah, typical Harvey.
Yeah. I made up the guard roster for the evening and night hours, but was perplexed in knowing what to do with Sullivan. I did not want him screaming in the middle of the night, giving away our position to the Germans and jeopardizing the rest of the squad. So Sullivan was so bad he might just freak out in the middle of the night and give away your location.
Yeah.
Did he end up doing that?
No, they sent him back home.
That quick, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard enough fighting the war to have one of your own guys working against you.
Yeah.
I decided to put Grayton, and I was also the monitor. Their tour was about 0400 hours to 0600 hours. Huber was summoned to CP for some reason, and I would fill in for him until he returned. Lester was already in the bunker when I got there. The night was cold with full moon out. I brought my blanket along with me, attempt to ward off the cold. I greeted Lester and settled behind him. Stand by.
Minute and 20 seconds.
So, those replacements weren't very good.
Well, they're all green.
And then two of them had like Section 8s,
Yeah.
and you couldn't put one on the watch because you're afraid he might start screaming
Yeah.
for no reason at all
Yeah.
and give away your position. So that was Sullivan. How were you able to get rid of him so quickly?
Well, he got back to headquarters. They sent him home.
He was,
Yeah.
were many of the soldiers that way?
No, not too many, no.
But the ones that,
Well, he was about 25, 26. Had married, had kids. He's worried. He's worried about the family.
yeah. Wow. But most of the guys you fought with were teenagers, right?
Yeah, yeah. 33s.
33, which is the code. Minutes?
20 seconds.
Text Mr. Jeckovich's birthday wishes if you like at 407,
Or leave them in the comments below.
or in the comments, 407-366-0000. 100 years old is knocking on your door.
Yeah, yeah.
Right around the corner now.
Yeah.
Hear it knocking?
Yeah, here it knocking. I That's about it. We'll pick it up